Hello and welcome back to another episode of Cousin Wives, also known as CW.
The
But not
CW.
really, because we're probably the only ones who know it as a CW. But anyway, I'm Nani,
And I'm Mitt Romney.
and we're off to a good start.
They're cousins and their wives. Don't you know they're the cousin wives? With all our money and I need to. Who knows what the hell they're gonna do? Don't wanna listen, well, it's true and bad. One of them laughs while the other gets mad. Check your man and check if it's butter. Cause this show ain't no like no other. It's cousin wives.
Please don't mind Armani. She's kind of drunk at 10:26 a.m. on a Sunday. Just kidding.
No, as soon
today-
as we hit the record button, I get giggly.
Aw, it's because you're nervous. But you've been doing this for what?
How
It's
many
the fourth
years?
episode. Oh god, I'm done. I'm done. Not even like a month, maybe.
Yeah, month.
Almost a month. Today's episode is brought to you by
No one.
no one.
Because
Us.
Alexis.
No. Just our two listeners, and that's it. Which are our husbands, but just kidding.
Even then, I feel like they don't really listen.
No, they don't. No.
They just have it like in the background.
Your husband, yeah, he's forced to listen. 'Cause
Oh yeah, he has to
like
listen
fix
to it.
stuff.
Yeah.
And mine pretends to listen to it and goes, "Oh yeah, baby, this is great." Oh, thanks. Anywho,
Oh, we love a supportive spouse.
yes, we do. Kales, do you want to talk about today's episode?
So today we're gonna talk about work. How it's a scam, but we need to
Oh
do
god,
it.
is everything a scam with you?
Honestly, yeah. Everything's a
goodness
scam.
gracious.
But no, we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about like our, what we do, our work history, maybe even talk about like what was our ideal jobs when we were
Yeah.
younger, and then
Yeah.
we'll go into it.
Yeah. I guess I'll go first since
Yes. The next
Kale.
hour is just gonna be Adriana talking, so I'm gonna take it
honestly,
up.
because I've had like 35 jobs. Even though I'm only like 30. Anyway, I've
well,
had
no,
35
like-
jobs.
Yeah. Well, let's start
But-
off with like
What I
know,
wanted
your-
to do.
yeah, like I guess either you can talk about when you were younger, what you wanted to do as a kid, or like
Uh-huh.
now, like what's the ideal job for you?
Yeah. Okay, so when I was in 4th grade, why are you laughing?
I don't know.
When I was
We're
in,
going way back, 50 years
yeah,
ago.
like well, cause okay, so when I shut up, when I was in 4th grade, I really wanted to be an archaeologist,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think it's so cool, like history and like digging. Pretty much, like I love to dig.
Yeah.
And just finding artifacts and just things like that. But then like I found out that you have to know a lot of obviously like you have to know a lot about history, and I found out that I can't retain information like that, and it's so boring, and I just really wanted to be there, like to travel and to dig.
Mm-hmm.
So it was for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So I was like, no. So then in 5th grade I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I was obsessed with like the ocean and stuff. And then I don't know what happened. I was just like,
The ocean sucks.
the ocean sucks. I'm scared of the ocean.
I can't swim.
I can't swim. Yeah, let's start with I can't swim. And I'm also like I'm scared of the ocean because I don't know like what touches my feet. So when I go in there, I have to wear shoes. So you just hear me. Yeah, I have to wear shoes when I go in the water.
Okay, last year when we went to the lake, did you have your shoes on?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't. No.
Pull up the
didn't.
receipts.
Pull up the receipt. Pull up the feet pics.
Pull up the video.
No, I didn't. But like I really want to buy. Like it stops me from getting in the water because I can feel everything on my feet, and I'm like so like like I hate it.
Oh, are you not to get too TMI, but like are your feet sensitive or something, or it just creeps you out that you don't know what's there?
It creeps me out. The fact that I don't know what's there creeps me the hell out. It gives me a lot of anxiety.
I get that.
Yeah, but that's what I wanted to be. And then in high school, I wanted to do art therapy, but like life happened, so like I didn't get to do that. But thankfully, I didn't because like as I did all these jobs, I came to find that I hate people and I don't have the patience for them at all.
But
No offense to anyone.
what
Uh-huh.
attracted you to going into art therapy in the first place? It was just
Be
like,
I love art. Like I've always done like I like to draw, paint. I took ceramics. Like I'm very artsy. I'm artsy
yeah,
fartsy. Like I love crafting and all that. Like even
emphasis on
now
the
at work,
fartsy.
a lot of emphasis there. You could ask my
Oh
husband.
god,
Anyway, that's for another episode. I
that's
have
another
funny
episode.
stories. I have funny fart stories. Anyway, oh yeah, so I like pretty much love art ever since I was little. And then I really like psychology. Like I feel like I can be a good listener, and I pretty much like to listen to people and like help them out and stuff. But after a while, I was like, man, like people just suck.
Oh no, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
like a lot of people don't like they just want to rant but not change anything.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
Yeah, and I was like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was like that, but it came to a point where my husband was like, you need to do something. Like you can't just be here, moping around and like do something about it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I need to stop being a little bitch. So I was like, I don't think I have the patience to deal with people who don't want to change and just want to rant about their life.
Yeah.
And then that's how I came to find that I hate people. So I think right now, like I have no idea what I want to do with my life. I kind of want to go into like the library sciences.
Mm.
But I don't know, like, I really don't know what I want to do with my life. And I'm really comfortable right now where I'm at in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, but that's pretty much it, like, for that. I don't know what I want to do.
That's honestly that's fair. You know.
I really don't.
Just out of my own curiosity, for the art
No.
therapy, how would you go about that for in terms of schooling? Like, would you get your master's in therapy and then just add art to it, or is it more complex than that?
Okay, so when I was in high school, I did a lot of research. I found that the Art Therapy Association or something like that, like there's only two schools in California who are credited.
Mm-hmm.
Accreditation. Yeah, they have the program. One of them was LMU, and I remember when I told you that I was trying to transfer out of community college in the last episode.
Yeah.
I applied to USC and LMU and I didn't get into LMU. So I was like, man, fuck you guys.
Yeah,
And
fuck
but
you.
yes, you would ultimately have to do a master's there. And they had a cool program cuz like I think like towards the end of the program you got to go to Mexico and like
Ooh.
kind of do like an abroad thing over there.
For art therapy?
Yeah, for in LMU.
Oh.
And I think the other one was I don't remember what the other school was, but it was up north. And one, like, it's expensive. I would have probably been in so much debt,
Yeah.
and that kind of stopped me. And then I just feel like my grades weren't good enough, so I never even applied or like tried to go there. And then just like having a partner now, like it's kind of hard because I don't want to like leave home. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to just go off on my own. It's just expensive too. Like I'm really poor. But
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much you would have to go to a school that
Okay.
has a program and it's not a lot of them have it was a bad part. But my husband said that CSUN just recently has like a master's for it where you
Mm-hmm.
can like get it on the side. It just depends on how the school does it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like,
Oh.
fuck people.
Yeah.
I don't
Fuck
have I don't know how my therapist put up with me, bro.
you.
I was like,
Well,
nah, I'm good.
what would be the average salary for that though? Is it like worth it?
$2.
Oh.
Um
So yes.
I don't think it was like I forgot how much it is now, but it's not that much, dude. I feel like nowadays, like you go through all this school and master's programs, and it's not worth it.
Oh no, it's not.
Like it's not
really
worth it at
not.
all.
Nope.
Like I think my brother right now is making a lot more than like some clinicians that I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
In one of my jobs. I think they only got paid like 20 something dollars
Mm. I
with
mean,
a master's.
he works in IT, right?
Yeah, and that's my point.
We should have just gone into IT. I think that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
He actually tried to get me into it, but I was like, this is too much info. And then computers catch fire when I look at them. Like, I'm good. Technology hates me. I only know how to play Minecraft,
Girl.
and that's it.
Girl.
And my email.
Girl. Don't you work in administration?
Shut up. Yeah, I
don't you
do.
have to know more?
Yeah, I do.
Now you just have to like learn how to fix it, and then you can go into IT.
Funny enough, though, a lot of people don't like our tech guy because he's kind of slow in getting to us. So sometimes I have to like go around and help people, and I'm like, I need a raise.
Honestly, fuck it, just go into IT, girl.
Right? Have you tried turning it off and turning it back on?
Again. I love that joke. I have a friend.
It works.
It does work. I have a friend that works in IT, and like apparently half his job is he just Googles the issue. And I'm just
That's what my brother was saying.
And I'm just like, at this point,
yes,
I'm gonna go into IT. Fuck it.
Yeah, my brother's like, why the hell do they need us to have like all this information memorized when you could just Google it?
Literally.
Because he's like, that's what I do. Because he's always getting like certificated and stuff.
Yeah.
And he has to study a lot, and I'm like, damn, dude, like this is too much. And he's like, yeah, dude, I literally Google all of this. I mean, he knows how to do it, but like, if he needs to, I feel like everyone Googles everything for their job.
Oh yeah.
I mean, as long as you know the gist of it.
Because I'm a professional, but
shut up, you're such a liar. Liar.
To be fair, I do my job, but also my job doesn't require me to do a lot, if that makes sense.
See, you Google how to sit there and look busy.
Literally Google, how do I trick my boss into giving me more money?
I actually do stuff at work. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Okay, but in all fairness, I haven't had anything to do this last week because I caught up. I'm waiting. I did. I caught up on my stuff thanks to shout out to my coworker Jody. Woo, Jody! Woo. She's the best. I love her.
Love you, Jody.
Love you. I'm sorry you have to put up with me.
I do,
but too bad. That's so mean. Yeah, so I haven't really had anything to do this last week. But anywho, did that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay then. Yeah, well, that was it, guys. Good night.
Bye.
I'm just kidding. Do I start going into my history now? Or do you want to go? Do you want to go? Or do you want to do yours like after
I mean,
I go?
I don't really care. Who goes first?
Whatever.
If you want to go first,
I'm gonna
go. Okay.
I'll go.
Okay, bye.
Thanks. I've had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 jobs. I'm on job number 8. Let's start from the beginning. When I transferred to USC, I started working at the bookstore. And I loved it there. I loved it. I love books. I love to sniff them. And
oh my god.
It was quiet most of the time because I worked in like the book department. Yeah. I did textbooks sometimes, and then I would be on the first floor dealing with like the general books, like regular fun books to read or whatever. Mm-hmm. My boss was great. I loved him. Ed, shout out to Ed. Woo! Sometimes I would have to cover the first and the third floor at the same time.
Interesting.
Because the guy that would come on weekends or was supposed to would call out or come super late, so there would be no one covering the third floor, which is where our textbooks were. Mm-hmm. So I would have to be like running, like going up and down the elevator all the time, running around, like taking calls and like all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So I learned how to multitask. Woo! Woo! And then what else? While I think I worked there like the 2 years that I was in college. It was a good experience. I got to talk to different people. Customer service skills that's when I started developing them. Mm-hmm. I broke like a whole display.
Oh my god.
I broke a whole display, dude. It was the crap, what are they called? I can't remember. It's like the moleskins, think they were called Moleskin, like the little journals or whatever. It was like a whole display of them, and I broke it.
How'd you break it?
And
On
because I
purpose?
was trying to, no, I was pushing it to another location, and instead of waiting
Oh.
for help, I get impatient. So then I tried to move it myself, and it just tipped over and it broke. And
Oh.
yeah, I never got fired. Woo!
Ooh.
I was so happy. Um, One of my pet peeves there, and as anyone who's ever worked like in a bookstore would know, when customers come in and go, do you guys have that book with like that? It's like the cover is blue, and I don't remember who the author is, but I just know that the cover is blue, and I was like,
Bitch.
thank you so much for that very crucial piece of descriptive information.
Oh my god.
Like, do you know how many blue? Oh my god, I can't. So that was one of my pet peeves. I don't
I'm
think
gonna
I
start
ever.
saying that to you.
No, I will throw hands. Do you guys have
Tell
that
'em.
one book? I would just like my eye would twitch, and I'd be like, "Can you get the hell out of here, please?"
Honestly.
And then what else? I had to deal. Oh, this one funny story. This one time we had a lady who shat herself. Poor
Oh
thing.
my god.
She was in the restroom, and like they were trying to buy her sweatpants, and the line was like super long because it was on game day. So that wasn't even my department, mind you, but you know, I was being nice. So then I ran to the restroom to give her sweatpants. Lord have mercy, that bathroom was nasty.
Oh my god.
And there were so many women like in there trying to, you know, use the restroom because it's game day or whatever, and it's busy, and oh god, just it was horrible.
Oh god.
I mean, I felt bad for the lady, but like, aw. So yeah, I had that happen. I had that. I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. That one guy that would come and make us hold books for him, that he would take like over a month to come pay for, but by that time they were gone because we can't hold on to books that long.
Yeah.
I just remember that I got him banned from the bookstore because of how much he would come harass me. And I was
Good.
good friends with the security there. They were really sweet. So all I have to do was like call them, and then they come up there and like tell me to get the hell out of my face.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, dude, I love the bookstore. It was really fun. I got to work with like one of my friends, my guy best friend. Shout out to my guy best friend. Woo!
Woo!
Jose. Yeah, he was in a different department. He was a supervisor, but like sometimes we would like come talk to each other and stuff. So it was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, after I graduated college, so for those of you who are going into psychology, don't unless you plan on doing your master's and more than that.
Yeah.
Because literally, like if you just have a bachelor's, all you can really get, because they're so desperate and nobody wants to do it, a behavior specialist or like a one-on-one, an
Yeah.
interventionist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the job that I started with fresh out of college.
Ooh.
I was so naive. I was like, okay, yeah, like let me help these kids, and no, I hated it. I did it for a year. The last day was literally one day before my birthday. Um, I had the easy cases because obviously, like, I was new to it. You know, you're really much left alone there because you get sent out. At least for the agency that I worked for, you get sent out to like different schools. So I had like the first case I had on the whole day, and it was a school that was really close by to where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
But the other kids there, like I loved my kid. Like my kid was great. Like we had good, like I had good rapport with him. Like he came to trust me. We had a lot of fun together. But it was the other kids because it was a really ghetto ass school.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other kids were like harass me real bad every day. And to a point where I just didn't feel safe there anymore. So I told them and they moved me or whatever. So I was really sad to let them go.
Yeah.
And then after that, they gave me one kiddo in the morning and then one in the afternoon. So I had 2 cases. And I like those kids. Like they were really nice too. The school that I had in the morning, like you could tell the difference. Like even though it was part of that same district, because it was in a nicer area, like all the kids were like And it's really sad. Like, they were more advanced. The parents, like, donated more to the school. Like, they were more involved, you know, because all these parents were, like, lawyers, doctors, like, you name it,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So you can tell the difference. And I loved it there. Like, I loved going to help those kiddos out. And then, like, the kid after, like, he was pretty cool, too. But, I was there for a while. And then I can't remember what happened. And they started moving me, like, towards the end of the school year. They started moving me to some other like really bad cases because the kids that I had weren't that bad, but because I guess the one-on-ones for the other kiddos, like, they weren't showing up anymore towards the end of the school year, like, they would send me to these really bad kids, dude. I hated it so much. They were like, I get that it's a behavior thing, but you could just straight off tell, like, it's because their parents don't know how to raise them.
Yeah.
Like, one of them, you could tell that, like, was never disciplined. Like, the parents pretty much let her do whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
She was a little shit. Like, I could not stand her. She was so rude and nasty. And I was like, bruh, what are your parents doing? The other kid was being raised by grandma. And you know how it goes usually when grandparents raise kids. Like, they're little shits, too.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yep.
So I could not. Like, it was hell. That last week for me was hell. Like, I was like, I'm never doing this again. So that was me doing that for a year. I hated it. Subbing was horrible, like I said, because you don't know these kids. You literally, like, if your kid doesn't show up that day, they'll be like, okay, we need you to go here. This is like a summary of what they need. This is the IEP. You have to read it the morning of and then figure it out. And it was just horrible. But yeah, I did also have one where I would have to go to their home, and he was the sweetest little thing. But again, you could tell that it's because, like, the parents just don't. They just let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, they don't want to be parents.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was like, they had a really nice house, dude. It was like one of those like rich people houses. But they were really nice too. And then that was when I was still in LA, and we ended up moving elsewhere.
Yeah.
So I tried to get out of it that last few days, but they didn't want to let me because they were so desperate. And I was like, whatever, like, I'll just stay, I'll be nice. So I sucked it up, and then the last day I was like, fuck you guys, I'm moving.
You couldn't be like, okay, then pay me more.
No,
if they're desperate. If you're desperate, then give me that money.
Give me that money. Nah, dude, I couldn't.
Was it minimum wage?
No, it was like 17.
Okay, that's
$17.50. Yes, but it wasn't full time. It wasn't full time.
That sucks. That's ass.
You only worked if your kid came to school and if they had a case for you.
Oh.
Yeah, so I feel like you guys need to look out for that too, because if you don't mind, then cool. But a lot of the times, like, driving in LA sucked ass.
Yeah.
Like, you're stuck in traffic. The school's horrible. Like, everything was just bad.
Yep.
So keep that in mind when you apply, especially to those agencies.
Yeah.
But I left. I was like, I'm not doing this. I hate it. I hate it. And then when I moved to a different city, my husband and I, he was my boyfriend at the time, we ended up moving, getting our place in another city. And I got a job there. Florida, yes. And I got a job there as a social worker assistant. Assistant. I worked there for a little over a year. I loved it. It was an adult day healthcare center. It was with like a bunch of old people, and all I had to do there was that's pretty much it. We just had to like monitor them, make sure they were safe. We did paperwork. What else did I do? I know I used to do other stuff, but it's all a blur. It was just a paperwork.
It was all a blur.
That's pretty much it. Like, it was super chill.
You just hung out with old people all day.
Pretty much, yeah. We had like we had our Hispanic participants, Chinese, Vietnamese.
Oh, interesting.
Persians, Indians. It was okay, but a lot of them were racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was really annoying.
That sounds about right.
The Persians were like the Persian men were really they were perverts.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was horrible, and like they would say stuff, so I would ask one of my coworkers who spoke Farsi like what it meant. So I started picking up a little bit of Farsi, and they loved it. Like they would crack up, and like I would just say stuff to them, and like they would just laugh, and like it got to a point where sometimes like some of them thought I was like Persian. They were like, "Are you Persian?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Your Farsi's pretty good," and I'm like, "Oh, you know." But so I used to love like learning different languages and like reading them in their language, like one of my cuz all my coworkers they each spoke the language that was needed at the facility.
Yeah.
So I would pick up like things like here and there so I can like speak to the participants in their language, and they loved it. Like it was really nice.
I'm sure.
Yeah, dude, it was really fun. They used to play bingo for like toiletries and stuff, and they would get heated, bro. Like, I was like, I am never doing bingo again. Like, I would have to get into fights with them.
Oh, damn.
Because it was just, they were like, no, like, you're showing favoritism and I won. And I'm just like, shut up. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just toilet paper. Let's see. So then, like, there, we didn't get paid that much, dude. We didn't get paid that much. And we were like part of our jobs was to pick up the participants and drop them off. And we would have to use a company van.
Yeah.
And they were desperate for that too because I ended up doing a hit and run with one of our vans.
Oh my god.
So I ended up backing up into a car on the street, picking up one of my participants because she was blind and she only spoke Farsi. And how we communicated, I don't know, but like she was really sweet and like she knew the sound of my voice and like when I would speak to her and all that. So while I parked to pick her up, I hit a car and I also messed up the side of the same van actually because I was trying to put it in reverse in our parking lot and I didn't see the metal pole. So like all I heard was and the door didn't open anymore. Like it was really bad. And I meant to tell like the head of the car guy, like the guy that took care of our cars or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I hadn't seen him. So then like the co-owner pulled me into his office and he showed me the camera. He was like, "Did you think we weren't gonna notice?" And I was like, I know you have cameras. I just hadn't had a chance to tell the guy because he's been out.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, okay. So then I told like the director, I was like, can you please stop making me drive? Like I already messed up I already hit my car twice. She was like, Adriana, it's okay. And I was like, no, it's not okay. Like, what do I need to do for you guys to just leave me alone? So eventually, like, she let me stop driving.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was the end of that driving portion. But yeah, it was really embarrassing.
Yeah, I see in the notes.
Yes.
I crashed 2 of their vans and they still begged me to drive.
And they still begged me to drive, dude. I had to work Monday through Saturday. It was like what, like 8 or 8:30 to like I can't remember what time. It was like 1. Like we didn't even get to work that many hours.
Oh, you weren't full time?
No. Because they didn't want to pay. They were really cheap.
Yeah.
I know we're not supposed to like take tips, but sometimes like the people that I would pick up, they would tip me like $1 or $2, like $1.
Take
and
that shit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to, but everyone does. Dude, I found out that like a lot of the other like Persians that work there, they would take a shit ton of money from them, dude.
Really?
Like a lot of money, like illegal money. Like you should not be taking that much from these poor people. No, they're not poor, and I will get to that.
Something?
No, it's more of a like.
They were robbed.
I think. Yeah, I think some of them were asking for more.
Oh.
But they never did anything there because I'm telling you, they were so desperate to work with people.
Yeah.
That wouldn't say anything about what else went on there. It was really sketchy. I loved it there.
It sounds sketchy.
Yes, I love the girls that I worked with. Like a lot of them, everyone there slept with each other.
Oh, they like fucked each other?
Yeah, like it was gross.
Ooh.
It
Oh,
was scandalous there.
scandalous. Oh.
And then one of my coworkers, I'm pretty sure she said she came high off of she came high on I think coke one time.
Oh my god.
Cause she went to like what are they called, snow parties or something?
I don't know.
Point being, I mean either, but point being, she was like a little bit out of it.
Yeah.
It was the funniest shit. Like I was like, "What are you doing here, dude?" She was like, "Dude,
Go
I'm
home."
lit." And I was like, "Somebody keep an eye on her, please." Um,
Damn, what
she
the
was really,
fuck?
she was really cool. She was really cool. She used to go like, to raves and like she'd do like all this stuff, and she was really cool.
Mm.
And I just like working with everyone there.
That's
Sorry, my mom's calling.
all I So all
And,
your coworkers fucked each other and they were high on crack. Got it.
Pretty much, yeah. I love that
love
place.
that. I love that
What
for
pissed
them.
me off? What pissed me off about that place is that a lot of the participants. I'm not talking about the Hispanics, because the Hispanics they're like I'm not being racist, but a lot of them had like normal homes. But a lot of these like Chinese and Persian participants had mansions, dude.
Really?
Like $1 million homes, and they took advantage of this program that was free.
What do you mean? Like their family owned or had a lot of like good property, or they owned it? Like the people that were there.
I think they owned it. Or
And-
like I don't know if it was under like another person's name so it wouldn't show up as them so they can look like they're all low income, but dude, their houses were huge.
Really?
Like insane. And like cuz a lot of them would drop them off so we would see it for ourselves, and like sometimes they'd be like, "Dude, I just dropped off so and so, like you need to see their house."
Damn.
And we go like on Google Maps or something, or like Earth, and we could see their whole freaking house, and we were like, how the hell are these people like coming here for free and all this stuff and taking advantage of all this, and they fight over free food that's like really cheap.
Bro.
But you know what I mean? Like there were so many other people who could have benefited, but I was like, whatever.
The rich are never satisfied. That's why.
No, they're not, and it pissed me off so much. Like
Yeah.
so much. Like the reality of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It pissed me off to no end.
I mean, they could have just like sell these huge mansions. They get a shit ton of money, right?
Yeah.
Why can't they just do that? I don't get it.
I don't I don't know, dude. Anyways, yeah. So there was that. And then so that was that job. So while I was there, I was like, fuck this, I'm not working there anymore. So then I became a teacher assistant. But I worked at a school for like kids with disabilities like autism and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a special school. That one was better because I mean, mind you, I only lasted like 4 months there, but
Yeah.
I only lasted 4 months there, but it was better because I had the same class every day. I already knew my kids. Like in the beginning, it was a little hard because they like to. It's like they could smell the fear on you.
Yeah.
And they like to test you. Like they want to see how far they can push it. And
the kids.
So like, yes, the kids.
How old are these? How old are they?
Well, I worked. My class was a mixture between, I want to say anywhere from like kinder to maybe like second grade-ish. Yeah. First or second grade. It was a mixture. And one of them was almost as tall as we were. He was a big kid. And he pooped a lot, but I'll get to that in a bit.
Oh my god.
So it was the teacher, the TA, and me, and we were understaffed. Because we had like, I want to say 10 kids. I lost so much weight there because of how much I had to run after these kids, dude. Like one of them would leave the classroom and like run into the parking lot, and we had to like just, oh my god, it was horrible.
Zoom after
And
them?
then yes, I had my hair pulled.
Oh, hell no.
I got scratched, bit. I had to change diapers. Like the TA and the teacher there were like surprised with me because they were like, damn, like a lot of people that come into this class, like they don't want to do anything. Like they're too scared to do anything.
Yeah.
And I would help them with like the kid that would poop a lot. Like I would be part of the team, you know, like I would make sure that everyone helped each other, you know, like I didn't just like go in there and only do the easy kids as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
But so this kid, dude, like he would pick up rocks, twigs, paper, you name it, he'd eat it.
Ew.
You couldn't even look away for a second because he'd already have something in his mouth. And it didn't happen to me, but it would happen to them before I got there. Like they would find like napkins pulled out of his butt, rocks, like little
What?
twigs in his diaper, and he filled that shit up, dude.
And
I cannot,
sorry, these were like special needs kids, right?
Yes, special needs. Special
Oh my
needs.
god.
All of them had autism pretty much.
Autism.
Yeah, because that's what the school was for.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting, dude. Like I had to change diapers, and I hate poop. Like I can't do poop, but oh my god, it was horrible, dude. I would almost throw up. And like I was like, I'll do it. Like I'll just do it. I'll help you guys. And they were like, damn, dude. Like thanks. I only lasted 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
This other girl only lasted the day, and never came back.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even show up.
No. Mm-mm. And then like it was really stupid that we had a behavior like intervention. No, a behavior. He was like the specialist there for behavior, whatever, like for ABA.
Yeah.
And I hated that guy because I was like, why the fuck are you working here if you're a germaphobe? Like, he wouldn't want to touch the kids. He wouldn't want to go near them. Like, he rarely helped out with anything.
Yeah.
And we had been begging for help with this one kid that we had. And it was just really, like, it was just bad. And I hated the culture there because, like, anytime you work anywhere with kids with disabilities, there's always that culture of like, oh my god, like let me keep an eye on this person so I could tell on them and get them in trouble. Like there was a teacher that was notorious for doing that, like wanting to get you in trouble. Like she was a bitch. If you're listening, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yeah, dude, like, and a lot of places are like that where like they love to see what you're doing and like to tell on you so you can get in trouble and get fired or whatever.
I mean,
which is stupid because you need people, but whatever.
I'm like, if you're gonna get fired from this job specifically, oh wow.
Oh, well, please,
damn.
I'm begging you, tell
Like,
on me,
damn.
please.
Tell on me, please.
It was so bad, dude. Like, I at some point would have had to ride in the car with them.
Yeah.
Like to get picked up and dropped off. And I almost said yes, but I realized that I would have to take my car to the first house and leave it there. Go in the van or the car, whatever, with them to school and then get dropped off. And like when it was my turn for the rotation, I was like, oh, sorry, like I'm pregnant. I really think I'm pregnant and I don't feel safe going in the car.
Oh.
Because some of these kids were big, dude. Like when it came to like getting rides, a lot of the kids were high schoolers.
Yeah.
Like that school was specifically for like all grades for kids with autism and other disabilities. And a lot of them were bigger than I was, and I was scared. I really was scared because at the end of the day, you're supposed to let them beat the shit out of you because you can't touch them.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Yes. Like, yeah, we were CPI trained where like they taught you how to defend yourself. I'm not saying like get into a fist fight with the kid, but like you couldn't do anything to them, dude.
Unless you'd like,
and like
get arrested?
Yeah, you could get in huge trouble for doing anything. And when you do CPI, there has to be someone there that can see that you don't have your hands on them the wrong way.
That's interesting. I would
It's
hate
a lot
that.
of like, I hated it so much, dude. I was like, this is not for me. I tried it twice, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. Never in my life.
Oh,
Like,
oh
fuck
my
that.
god.
No, dude, it was horrible. It was so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like I loved working with my classroom
Yeah.
because you get to know your kids, you get to know like what their triggers are, like what they like, what they don't like, and like just being with them, like they come to, like, you can see that they come to appreciate and love you, like you build that bond and connection with your kiddos.
Yeah.
But when you have to deal with other kiddos that you don't know and they don't know you, like I said, they love to test you.
Yeah.
So that van that they wanted me to go in, one of the kids ended up breaking somebody's arm in there.
Oh, hell no.
So that was like the last week or two, and I had given my 2 weeks, and I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm gonna leave. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. I mean, I kind of did think that because I was like, maybe I want to say like a week late, but I'm pretty sure it had to do with the stress there.
Yeah.
And it was just really annoying. But yeah, that was the teacher assistant job at that school.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, and I heard that the principal there, like the head of the whole school, I don't know if it was like a nonprofit or whatever. I really don't know. But like they said that she was so fucking fake. Like she never let anyone into her office because she didn't want the kids touching her stuff. Like she was very like grossed out by them or whatever. Like it was really messed up. And I was like, you're a stupid bitch. If you're listening, fuck you.
Fuck you.
You just wanted money, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It sounds like the wrong people are
Yes.
in that job, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
you're gonna work with a bunch of kids, but you're a germaphobe? Maybe you shouldn't work with children. Dumbass.
Thank you. Yeah, dude, I was so mad. And yeah, it was alright.
Yeah.
The kids are cute. I really do miss the kiddos. And the TA and the teacher, like they were great. I really love working with them. And then the subs that we got here and there were really cool, but other than that,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No. If you're gonna use this as a stepping stone for something else within that career that'll get you somewhere else, then yeah, do it. But if not, like, don't even bother.
No, absolutely not.
Why did I take these jobs? Because I didn't know any better and I was desperate for a job. So,
Yeah.
Bills gotta get paid.
Yep.
And then what else? After that, like I said, I only lasted like 4 months there.
Yeah.
And after that, I got a job as a concierge. It was for like a retirement home, but for the like rich people,
Yeah.
It was in, no, actually I can't tell you where it was. It was a little far from where I was. I had to work from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. It was all right. But then like the night shift, I don't know, like I didn't like the night shift because one, like I would, like it was just so tiring, like having to drive home.
Oh yeah.
Like towards the end.
Yeah.
It was really bad because I would almost be falling asleep on the road. I got to see paramedics take like some of our dead, because they were old. It was assisted living / like we had like a ward that was like locked down for our like dementia residents there. I saw paramedics like take them out in like the body bags. We had they were CNAs, so they would like change diapers and help them out in whatever they needed. Like some of them would go to hide in the closet or like had hiding spots where they wouldn't be found, so they didn't have to do their job.
Oh my god. The nurses?
No. So we had a head nurse, but then we had CNAs who were kind of like the caregivers there.
Oh, CNAs.
Yeah. They're like the caregivers that like help them bathe, change a diaper, help them dress, things like that.
And they would hide.
And they would hide so they wouldn't have to do their job.
I hate
people. It gets worse.
I hate people so much, man. Especially
you're gonna
people that don't do their job.
Dude, and they were young. Some of them, they were different ages. Like some of them were good, some of them were terrible. We had a lady die of a stroke there. And I heard like, yeah, she was like, she could do a lot more by herself, but someone is still supposed to check up on them like every so often.
Yeah.
And whoever was assigned to her never showed up. So they didn't find her till like way later. Like, and I heard that like supposedly like she died with like halfway getting dressed.
Yeah.
And she had a stroke. And had someone checked on her, like something could have probably been done about it. But nobody checked on her forever.
Oh my
and we only
God.
noticed because she never came down to breakfast, and she always came down for breakfast.
Did that person get fired?
I have no idea what happened.
They should have. They should have gotten fired and sued.
Yep. I don't know
Oh
what
my
happened with
God.
that, but yeah, that happened. We had this other guy who started kind of losing it. He would call 911 all the time, and we got in trouble for it because they would show up like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed to open the door for them because they looked so angry and annoyed, and I was like, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
Not my fault. Yeah, dude, literally like all night I would just read or crochet. They had a nice fireplace there.
Oh, cool.
I would have to clean the bathroom sometimes, and I was like, this isn't part of my job. Like, I'm not a custodian. Y'all are fucking cheap. You don't want to get a custodian.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that all the time. I got to like organize the mail, just like little things like that. And I had to obviously answer the phone, but it was nighttime, so there was
No
not
calls.
much to do. No. Sometimes the residents there would call, and I'd be like, "Why the fuck are you calling me at 4 a.m., bro? Leave me alone."
Yeah.
So like one morning towards the end of me working there, like I was kind of out of it, and I was behind a bus. This was with my car, by the way. I was behind a bus, and they were taking too fucking long, so I tried to get into the lane on my left, and in doing so, like, I was so out of it, like, I ended up not, like, gauging it very well, so I drove, and, like, the side mirror on the right came off, so I drove home with it just dangling.
Oh my God.
So I kind of did a hit and run, and I was like, nah, the bus is fine. Like, I'm just gonna keep driving.
Okay, this is how many hit and runs you've had? You've confessed
That's two. But only if the cops are listening.
You don't have to listen anymore.
You don't have to. No. If the cops are listening, I don't know license plates. I don't know cities. Like, I don't know. They're fine. This was years ago. It was like a lot of years ago.
Adriana, I
Anyway.
swear.
But, oh, there's one more. After this one, I'm going to tell you about one more. Anyway. So yeah, I had it dingling, and when I got home, like Pedro was mad, and I had to go get like crazy glue that shit back on.
Crazy glue that shit back on. Oh my God.
It still worked though. It still worked.
And that's all that matters.
And that's all that matters. My mom even took the car back after I got another car, and she was like, "Okay, mija," and I was like, "Hey, mom, love you."
She doesn't know?
Yeah, she did.
I was like, I'm about to call her right now. Guess what?
No, you're such a tattletale. Anyway, yeah. So then that happened, and let me just talk about this other hit and run that I did right quick.
Oh.
So I was gonna visit somebody, and the streets in LA suck, bro. They were super, super narrow.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to back up. But because I was holding up traffic, I got really anxious, and I guess I didn't see the car there, and it was parked, and I hit it, and it had a dent, and I booked it. I booked it, and I never drove there again with that car.
Oh my God.
And I lived for years with that on my conscience, and I was like, fuck.
This is you confessing?
Yeah, I was like, no, like, oh man, I'm sorry, person. Like, I was 19. I had just started driving.
Oh,
I didn't have money to pay for that.
Man,
my parents were poor.
I swear. If you get arrested
what?
after the release of this podcast, it's on you,
I
girl.
know. Dude, I wouldn't even know where to begin. And I don't got money, so they didn't even come after me. I have like $2 in my bank account. Fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here.
And I mean, it was a nice car too, but it was one of those where like, you know, they're on food stamps, but they're still fucking spending money on these like super expensive cars. It was one of those.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Say what y'all want, but we have a lot of those. And yeah, that was my other hit and run.
Oh my God.
I think that's been it so far. Just 3.
Just 3?
Yeah.
Do you want to confess to anything else while we're here?
I've never killed a man.
Allegedly.
What? Don't say that. If the cops are listening, she's lying. Not allegedly. I've never killed anyone.
Any
Okay, so then there was that. Any other questions, Kales?
that I have for you?
Yeah, regarding this, because I still have 3 more jobs to get through.
Not really. Like, I understand why you'd like. I personally would never, and thankfully, I've never gotten to the point where I had to take any of these jobs. Because there were a lot of like jobs that are very similar to what you did that were that were also offered in like the area that I live in. So I'm so grateful I never did any of that shit. Because
no, dude,
anyone that pulls my hair at work, I'm gonna fight them. I don't give a shit.
It was a little kid.
I'll beat his ass. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god. I learned how to calm them down. After a while, like I learned what would get them to calm down, and it worked out a lot. It's because they would freak out, and when they would get scared, they would start pulling hair and scratching. Oh. But I learned how to calm them down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of illegal stuff that we did, but I'm not gonna say that on here.
More illegal shit that you gotta.
No, I'm kidding.
No, I can't. I can't be doing that. I can't. But yeah, go ahead.
Nah, dude. After, okay, 3 more to go. After that, I got a job as a care access specialist at a mental health insurance company. It was horrible. I was overworked and underpaid.
Most of us are,
so,
yes.
So my job, exactly. My job consisted of taking calls and doing like the initial like intakes.
Okay.
Where I would get like the name, what insurance they have, like what problem they're having, things like that, right?
Yeah.
So because we had so many calls coming in, like it would literally be like phone call after phone call after phone call. Like I would have maybe like 2 seconds to rest before I took another one.
Yeah.
When I needed to use the restroom, I had to email my whole department and say that I was going to the restroom.
Really?
Yes, I'm sure that's illegal, but I had to.
That sounds illegal.
Because you had like we could all see the queue and like how many calls were coming in. The whole time that I worked there, which was like a little like almost a year, I took the most calls because they would take they would like keep track of who took how many calls.
Yeah.
I would take a lot of calls, dude.
Yeah, you did your job.
Yes, yeah. But like I took the most calls, and there was like this trophy that we would pass around, and it would always be on my desk because I took all the calls.
Damn.
That job really stressed me out. Like my anxiety got really bad there. Like I got to a point where I would wake up in the morning and just cry because I did not want to go in. It was so stressful.
Yeah.
If you took longer than a few seconds to take a call, they would just throw it at you anyway, and you had to pick it up.
Yeah.
This one time, one of my coworkers had to go poo, and he emailed that he was going to the restroom. Hadn't come back in like forever, and they were like, "Where the fuck did he go?" And I'm like, "Damn, like y'all can't even let somebody go number 2 without needing to know where they are."
No, I guess not.
Oh my god. Yeah, dude, it got really bad. When I quit, or when people started to hear that I was quitting, I took like 2 other people with me.
Good.
And like I think shortly after, like I think another one quit or whatever. Dude, I used to get like 100 cases a day.
Yeah.
And we had to get those assigned because you had some where it was an emergency, so we had to give it to one of like clinicians to assess. We had to get some assigned within like 24 hours, 48 hours. Sometimes you'd have to get them assigned like right there and then, or else we were out of compliance. Like it was insane. And we never had time to work on our cases because we were taking phone calls a whole day. I got to do some overtime sometimes, but even then, like it wasn't enough time to keep up. I'm not gonna say what insurance we were, obviously, but we had a lot of like big accounts. No, we had a lot of big accounts. Come kick my ass? No. We were just really understaffed. Like I really did everything I could. I have a couple crazy stories. There was one, I took this call. I had this man call, and he was like in distress, kind of, and he was a little out of it. It was an older gentleman. And he said he had done something and he couldn't live with himself. And I was just like, yeah, let me transfer you to one of our clinicians real quick. So then after the call, when the clinician wasn't talking to him, she comes over to me and she was like, okay, that call you transferred me. And I was like, what? She's like, do you love animals? And I was like, yeah, why? And she's like, well, this guy had a box of kittens, right?
Uh-huh.
And instead of going to the shelter, he didn't know what to do with them. Nobody wanted to adopt them. So he thought the best solution would be to put them on the table, grab his gun, and just shoot the crap out of them. And he could hear the cats crying out in pain. And he saw how mutilated they were. It was horrible.
He shot them.
He shot the kittens. This is a true story. I took this call myself. And the clinician told me to my face what it was. And I was like, what? Why didn't you just go to the shelter?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my
True
God.
story. True story.
So why did he call you guys? What's the point?
Because he was like in distress because of what he had just done.
But aren't you like for an insurance? So I assumed you were like taking claims or something like that.
No. This is mental health insurance. So we would connect them to like a therapist.
Oh.
Therapy and psychiatry. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
And that's what he called. And yeah, that one was
Did he get arrested?
we had a I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal to kill animals.
What happens
like that.
after? Yeah, I know. But what happens after? I don't know.
You're like,
I just
it's none
take
of
the
my
calls.
business.
Yeah, we would just take the calls and we would just send them over, and then whatever needed to happen happened. I had another one where this one happened before I got there. So a lot of the times we would have one of our clinicians give services to like if HR requested it at like different companies because like something traumatic happened there.
Uh-huh.
So one of our clinicians got sent over because it turns out that there had been an employee at a company that had installed cameras in the women's restroom, and he had been watching them for God knows how long.
Oh my
Like he had been watching them use the
God.
restroom for years. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And this was before I got there.
Oh my God. What's wrong with
We've-
people?
Yep. I used to have people like high on like meth and like other drugs just call me and rant and cuss me out. I had a lot of people. There was this one lady that was going on about like conspiracies and like the government and aliens and like oh my God, I'm done. You had nothing better to do.
Call you.
Yeah, dude, like it was horrible. I hated it so much. Towards the end, our manager just had enough and she quit. So they had one of our clinicians become the manager.
Yeah.
And she was pretty bad at it because like I guess she was getting a lot of pressure from the higher ups that like she like okay, yeah, I get some people weren't doing their jobs and yes, those are the people you should come at. But she would call me, dude, if I would take more than 2 seconds and ask why I wasn't taking phone calls.
Interesting.
And I told her and I said, excuse me? I'm like, you know I do my job better than anyone here. Like, you know I get my shit done. I don't know why you're calling me.
Yeah.
When you should be calling other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally took 2 seconds and you're over here like trying to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And she did not like that, dude. And she was like, well, I have to be fair. I'm like, no, that's not being fair. You need to be checking up on the people who are not doing their job.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what more you want me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one time. There was another time where like I was up out of my seat because one of my coworkers had been out on leave and she came back and there were some things that had changed, so I was helping her out with it. And then my manager comes over and she's like, what were you guys talking about? And I was like,
Nanya.
excuse me?
None your business.
I was like, what do you mean what were we talking about? I'm like, we were talking about work.
Literally.
I'm like, and you shouldn't be asking us what we're talking about. I was only up for like a minute and I was helping her out. And you shouldn't be asking me what I'm doing when you know that I do my job well. And we also had this patient call in and she wanted to speak to the manager. My manager forced me to take that call.
Yeah.
Like, she was like, I know, I don't want to talk to her. You need to take it. And I was like,
I hate
what?
managers like that. Oh my
so
god.
I took the call and I was livid, dude. But I calmed the person down. Like, I took care of it because, you know, I'm a fucking badass.
Yeah.
So after that, maybe like a week or two later, another person called for the manager. And my manager and my supervisor were there. And the manager was like, yeah, can you take the call? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, you made me take the call last time. I'm like, it is your job as manager to take this job. I mean, to take this call.
Yeah.
You're getting paid to get these calls taken care of, not me.
Yeah.
They're asking for you. I am not a manager. I don't get paid like one. You need to do your job.
Yeah.
And my supervisor was looking at me like, oh shit. And like, the manager did not like it, dude. And I was like, no, like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
And when I gave them my 2 weeks, dude, they were like trying to raise like what I get paid and like they were just trying to change a lot of things around for me to stay. And I was like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no.
That and because the commute was just not worth it anymore.
Oh, no.
And then another clinician there had called me to see if I wanted to be an administrative assistant there, but I was like, nah, like, it's too far.
Yeah.
And I was already working for the school district in Ohio, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that was there.
Oh, God.
And if you guys are listening, yeah, they went under like shortly after.
Good.
Or almost under, but they lost a lot of accounts.
Yeah.
So after that, right when I quit that job is when the pandemic happened. So it was almost a year before I could get a job.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was depressed. I had to go to therapy. Like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
But then I ended up getting a job as a bilingual typist clerk. And I stayed there for about a year at a school district. It was at a middle school. It was in a really ghetto area. The parents would come in, cuss me out. Yeah. A lot of them would come in with just like wife beaters and like booty shorts, pajamas.
That's what I typically wear.
No, dude, like, you do not have a meeting with the principal at your child's school in a wife beater and pajamas. You do not come into the office smelling like weed
and alcohol.
I got yelled at, cursed at. Like, I got into it with a couple parents because they were trying to tell me what to do, and I was like, nah, bro.
Yeah. Especially
like with, I guess, my mask, like, everyone thought I was like 18, 19. I was like, bro, I'm a grown ass one. I'm almost 30. Like, no. I had this parent, because at the beginning of the school year, it was messy, like, you know, because of COVID, and they were trying to enroll their kids, and the enrollment center was taking forever, pretty much, because of how much they had. I had this dad come in yelling at us because he's like, I've been trying to enroll my kid, like, they're not enrolled yet. I'm not leaving here until they're enrolled. I'm like, sir, we don't enroll the kids here. Yeah. We just get their information once the center enrolls them, which is where you applied. He was like, you need to do your job, kiddo. I was like, kiddo? Excuse me? I was like, sir, I'm going to tell you one more time, like, I'm doing my job. And that is not part of my job. Yeah. I'm like, would you like a job description? And one of the teachers saw that we were going at it, so he went to go grab one of the assistant principals.
Yeah.
Who then told him the same exact thing that I fucking told him.
Yep.
So we were just going at it back and forth. And his poor daughter was so embarrassed, dude. Like, she made him apologize to me after. Yeah. She was like, you should not have talked to her that way. Yeah. He was like, I'm sorry. I was just stressed. I was like, and I understand that, but when I'm telling you that I do my job well, like, you shouldn't be telling me what my job is when you don't even know.
Yep.
And yeah, dude, I've had to like grow a lot of thick skin. Yeah. My mom says that I'm a little red ant because I'm little, but I'm spicy. Oh. Yeah. And after working there for almost a year, it's not that I didn't like it. Like, yeah, it was a little stressful because the parents were stupid. And they love to tell you how you didn't know how to do your job. And they didn't even know what your job is. Yep. and they were ghetto.
Yep.
My one of my friends, shout out to my friend Hasina, woo,
Woo!
and Daniel.
Woo!
I made 2 friends there at that school, and they're really cool. One of them said that my LA came out sometimes because like I was like, ugh, growing up in LA and all that.
Yeah.
So I would like tell them off, and then, but everyone there was pretty cool. I only left because it was part-time. I didn't get any benefits.
Oh, yeah.
The pay was all right.
Yeah.
And that position, like, I needed a full-time job, for my bills and all that.
Yeah.
So I ended up working what's called out of class. So if there's, like, let's say somebody goes on leave and they need somebody to sub for that, they ask somebody, like, that's like a tier below them to work out of their class so they get paid more. And that's what I did for at the position that I work at now.
Mm-hmm.
They just so happened to need somebody to fill that position, and I had already taken the exam in place.
Yeah.
So I got to interview for it, and that's how I got the job.
Oh, nice. Your current one, right?
So, yeah, and everything worked out. And then that's where I am right now, and I've been there for over a year, and I love it. I do a bunch of data entry and, like, a bunch of projects for the kids because I work for the education department.
Yeah.
I'm constantly telling teachers off because they love to try me. When I first started there, one of the other clerks was like, "Oh, you got to be careful how you talk to these teachers, and like, you can't, say anything to them." And I was like, "No, watch me, like, watch me."
Do it.
And I did. I had this lady say that I was rude and tacky because I was trying to ask her about a kiddo that she had just gotten, and I CC'd her supervisor because it's what I'm supposed to do. And she thought I was calling her out, and she was telling me off. And I was like, first of all, nowhere did I say it was your fault.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't understand why you would call me that.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how upset you are. You do not talk to anyone like that.
Yep.
And I heard she was like, she has a doctorate in Christianity, and she was like, oh, yeah, and she was like, "Oh, like, I pray that you're not permanent because I don't want to work with you." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, thank God that I am permanent, and I look forward to working with you." But dude, I told her a new one, and like the director didn't like that I was the one that replied because I shouldn't have, and I was like, "Why are you turning this on me? Like, how is it my fault that your teacher doesn't know how to talk to your staff?"
Yeah.
Because a lot of these teachers are like that, dude. Like, a lot of them, the way that they treat other staff, like, it's ridiculous. They treat us like shit, and the director just lets them get away with it.
Oh my god.
Because she doesn't have a backbone. Is what I've heard. And I've kind of seen that too, because she doesn't say anything to them.
Yeah.
Even though she says she does, but no. And then I had this teacher last week who I emailed because she hadn't turned in some stuff and it was already due, and I was like, hey, like, just a friendly reminder, your stuff was due.
Yeah.
And you only did half of it. And she replied with, first of all, why are you emailing me during my time off? And secondly, I already did half of it. I just need to do the other half. So it's complete. And I said, first of all, you're on vacation, ma'am. I am not.
Yeah.
I need to keep working.
Yeah. I
don't get time off the way you do. And I'm like, secondly, you shouldn't even be looking at your emails if you're still off.
Yep.
It's not, you're not obligated, and I wasn't expecting you to reply until you got back.
Yeah.
Secondly, yes, you did do half of the work. The other half is not complete, therefore it is still incomplete.
Yep.
Please let me know if you need any help.
Oh.
Bye, bitch. I'm just kidding. And she didn't reply to that.
Yep.
Did not.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, that's been my work experience. I'm sure I missed a lot, but...
Oh, you missed a lot, girl? You missed more?
No, just kidding.
There's like 12 other jobs you've actually had, but you did not mention them.
No, this is it. I've come to find that I like office work.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to deal with people as much, and when I do, I can just tell them off in an email.
There you go.
Professionally, of course.
Love it.
Don't try me, because I will match your energy.
Yep.
Don't fucking do it.
Yep.
In conclusion, try me, bitch.
Conclusion.
And
sucks.
it really does.
Yeah.
My job's okay though. I like my coworkers a lot.
That's
My boss is
good.
cool. Shout out to my supervisor and my coworker Jody. Woo! And pretty much everybody else there. I like everyone.
That's good.
Your turn, Kale.
Oh, my turn already.
Unless you had questions, concerns,
Comments?
suggestions, comments.
No, I can't think of anything right now.
Okay, good. Let's start with what you wanted to be when you grew up and what happened.
When I was a child, I had a similar dream to yours where I wanted to be an archaeologist, mainly because I wanted to dig like for dinosaur fossils and I wanted to find them. And I thought that was so cool. And then like I don't know, I just grew disinterested. I do like history though. I do like history a lot. If I hadn't majored in psychology, I would have gone into history. But when I was in college, I wanted to be a therapist. And I still kind of want to. I just don't want to get my master's because it's too much money. I can't afford it.
Girl, start selling feet pics.
I'm not doing that.
Why?
I'm not doing that.
Your man won't let you. You're your own boss.
No, it's just, I don't know.
Your
I can't
body,
do
your
that.
rules.
Like, I can't do that. But that's what I wanted to be. And
okay,
I still kind of want to do that. Again, the whole appeal was just like helping others. And that's something that I still like doing, but you know, going into retail, I'm just like,
I'm telling you.
Fuck these guys.
I'm telling you.
But yeah. That's actually the main reason why I even went to college too. And it turned out I didn't even go into that field, so whatever. Anyways, my job history is a lot shorter compared to yours. A lot shorter. My first ever job was when I was in college. I worked as an inventory associate for this company that essentially stores would hire to do their inventory. And so I did that for a summer. It was okay.
That sounds like fun.
It kind of was. The pay was shit because it was minimum.
Of course.
So at the time I was only getting like $10. But at the time I was like, damn, I'm scamming these people, like, you know?
Oh my gosh.
Because it's like, you know, it's my first ever job and I'm like, damn, I'm getting paid to do this. This is so easy. And it was. But the job was very interesting. I wouldn't do it now because obviously it's not really worth it. But yeah, they would most of the jobs would be in the middle of the night or early morning. So that's the reason why I only did it for like a summer, because it would like go into my school schedule, and at the time I was prioritizing school. And so yeah, we would like go in the middle of the night to a store and they would be open for us and they'd be like, okay, do the inventories for these sections, and then you can, once you're done, then you can go home. And the cool thing was that they would, like, if it was too far, the company would pay for you to drive out there, and they would have like this company car that you can use, or we'd all like meet up at the office and then go into the company car and go. And it was cool because after like 30 minutes of driving, even if this place was like 4 or 5 hours away, they'd pay you after the 30 minutes of driving. So it was pretty cool. So I got paid like 3-4 hours of just like doing nothing, and I like that.
Nice.
I love getting paid and not doing anything. That's the ideal.
Same. Same.
But yeah, I met a lot of interesting people. A lot of the people that I've met they were like a lot older than me, and they already had it makes me sad too, because a lot of them had like already primary jobs, so this was like their second job because their first job wasn't enough. to help pay for like everything that they needed. So I felt sorry for
that's
them.
sad.
Yeah. And I felt sorry for them because for me it was like optional. I'm just like, well, I'm just here because I need to pay for my textbooks, you know, and my gas.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. But they were pretty neat people. Everyone, it was such a weird thing. Literally everyone that I worked with during there, smoked. Everyone but me. And I'm just like, damn, how stressed are you guys?
Smoked cigarettes, weed.
Yeah, they smoked crack. They did everything. I'm just kidding.
I mean, working with you, I'm just kidding.
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
But I was there for a few months, and then again I left because school was starting and it was getting in the way of that. So, it was interesting. There was one memorable moment. So in the area, and before I quit, in the area, there's like the higher end or higher brand stores, right? Like Gucci, Dior. I can't think of other brand names because I don't really care.
You saying?
But one time, I think it wasn't Gucci, but it was a high-end store hired us to do their inventory. And so we were out there, we got there, and the first hour, we were like, doing inventory for them. We were counting everything that they had in the store. And then so we were doing it. And so we had like a store member there from that store just watching over us. And honestly, they were just like talking to us and they were just like, oh, how was your day? Why are you doing this job? Blah, blah, blah. And it's the middle of the night, so everyone's like tired. And then the manager for that store comes out and he's like yelling at his store members. And he was like, why are you letting these people touch the merchandise? And that rubbed me so wrong because it's higher end product, so what I was touching was worth thousands of dollars. I think the cheapest thing I touched was a small wallet that was $400, and that was the cheapest thing there. And so when he comes out and he sees us touching this, and we have to, because we have to scan the barcode and we have to go to the next one that's behind it. He got so mad and he was yelling at everybody, and we would have been done in like 2 hours, but because he came out and was so upset that we were actually directly physically touching the merchandise, he had his workers for the store, he'd pair us up with us, if that makes sense, and then they would come out and they wouldn't let us touch the merchandise. We could only scan it. And so it took like 3-4 hours more than it should have. And it was so annoying. And it was just like, I hated his attitude. No one liked him. Like the people that worked for him hated him too. I'm just like, fuck this guy.
Give me his number.
Honestly, I will.
Give me the address of the store.
I will. I'll send you the address. It's close to where I live anyway, so. But
can you find out if he's still there? Because I'm gonna tell him off right now. If you're listening, fuck you.
But it was crazy. I'm just like, I didn't get it. I'm just like, well, we're just doing our job. We're not gonna steal. Like, it's not worth. Because first of all, if we steal one thing, that's thousands of dollars. Meaning we could immediately go to prison. Like, it's not worth it.
I feel like it could have been the oils on your hands touching the merchandise.
Well, that's also the thing.
Mind you.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, but that's probably what it was. I mean, it's still really stupid.
Yeah. I mean,
I hate them.
Fair, but also most of the merchandise was like in plastic. So we weren't even directly touching it.
No.
He just didn't want us to touch anything. And I'm just like, why the fuck are we here? Why did you hire us in the first place?
Okay, now that you say that, it was like,
I don't know.
No.
He was like, why are you letting
stupid bitch, stupid dick? No. No.
He's like, why are you letting these poor people touch? I'm just like, oh, fuck off.
Okay,
man.
no, that's different.
Yeah.
Way different.
Yeah.
I was just trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but fuck you, dude. I hope you choke on leather.
Yeah. But besides him, the job wasn't too bad. In my opinion, it wasn't too bad. And then afterwards, right when I was done with college, um, I was either gonna do the same thing you were gonna do of like going into like behavioral therapy or becoming a behavioral specialist. But and I think I did an interview for a job that was similar to that. But I ended up not taking it because I needed a full-time job and they were only offering me like on call, which I'm like, I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah.
And so I ended up I went into retail and I was a store associate for one of the Ross stores here where I live.
Ooh.
And I was there for about a year. Did not like it. But honestly, who actually likes retail? I don't know. If they
Nobody.
do, then they're like
Lying.
lying.
Or they're robots.
Yeah. But I was there for about a year. I loved my coworkers. I hated the manager. I still hate her to this day. If you're listening, fuck you, honestly.
Fuck you.
And it's funny because my younger brother is working for the same store, and he has the same manager, and he always tells me, yeah, she's not great. She's just not a good manager. You know, I don't know how she has that job.
I wonder about a lot of people who have
Certain jobs.
yeah, I'm like, how?
Yeah.
If you could do it, I could do it.
Yeah. But again, I took the job because I needed money and I needed to
That's pretty much why
pay
we
my
take these
my
jobs.
loans and my gas and whatever. But it wasn't in a great area, the store location, so they had like very specific policies on how we were supposed to do things. And so in that store or in those stores, they have a fitting room associate, and that's what I did. So I was essentially checking in and out people that were bringing in clothing to try on. And so we were essentially there just to make sure that no one was stealing or no one was like taking shit when they were changing. I mean, mind you, they still took shit. They didn't care. And so because of that, a lot of people would get angry with me when I asked them to hang up the clothing that they want to try onto this rack, and I would count out and make sure they're not like taking anything else in. And people would get mad and they would be like, "Oh,
that's your job."
Literally, they're like, do you think I'm stealing?" And I'm like, "Well, I didn't think that. I'm just doing my job, girl. If you have an issue, you can go to my boss and she's right there." But yeah, we also had weird policies where like no one was allowed to use the restroom. Not employees, but like customers. And customers would get really mad about that too. And I'm just like, I'm following policy. If you want to yell at someone, you go to my boss.
Exactly. That's what they don't get. Like, we always get yelled at for doing a job and following the rules that were set there for us to follow. Like, we didn't come up with that.
Yeah, no. It's amazing what people will blame you for. And on your mind, you're just thinking, ma'am, I just work here.
Exactly. I have bills to pay.
Yeah, like if you want to yell at someone else. But it was okay. Like, I didn't care for it. Also, I wouldn't do it again. But that's also just my advice for anyone. Like, only do retail if you're desperate,
Or if you're planning on moving up the ranks.
Oh yeah. I feel like if you're a store manager, you make bank. I've seen what they make. And I'm just like, y'all make too much money.
If you ask me.
That's just me. So I was there for about a year and then I quit and then COVID hit. And sorry, the timeline's a little blurry. No, I was there, and then like a few months later, I took a job at a print shop, and that's where Josh was working too. So we worked together for a few months, and it was okay. And then the pandemic hit, and then the owners of that print shop were very much, they didn't believe that COVID was a thing, so they wouldn't wear masks, and they didn't care if the customers wore masks. And so then I ended up leaving because I'm like, well, y'all don't care. I'm gonna get sick because you guys don't care. And so I left.
If you're listening,
I don't know. I have mixed feelings on them, honestly. I don't like one of the owners, but the other owner is fine with me. But they both suck.
Okay, if that other owner that it wasn't fine with Kales is listening.
No. But it really sucked because, you know, I quit, but Josh was still there. And I remember during the pandemic, he got sick. He got us both sick.
Yes, I remember that.
And we ended up getting COVID during Christmas, and it just sucked so much.
Yes, COVID, if you're listening, fuck you. And you know what, Juan, if you're listening, I hate you.
What?
I just want to throw my brother in there. Fuck you.
Every episode, if you're listening.
Juan, fuck you.
So
love you, bro. Anyway,
that was that.
Sorry.
Yeah, that was that. And then
you only have like 2-3 jobs.
Well, that's that. There's one more job, and then my current job. I somehow
see, you had more.
I somehow swindled my way into working for a casino. I remember that. So this was also during COVID. They had like a specific job, just because COVID. It was like a entry screener, and so I did that. I just made sure that people that were coming in, they just had to wear masks. I literally got paid just to make sure people weren't wearing masks. It was kind of great, and that was under the security department for that casino.
I remember, yeah. I thought that you had like a gun. You were shooting people down.
Oh no, I was gonna. No. No, security guards don't actually have guns unless you're certified for it.
Yeah, but I just assumed you like brought yours on site.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I own a gun.
Yeah, exactly.
But as a screener, I liked it. I liked the coworkers because I worked specifically with the security department, so I was always paired up with an officer, and for the most part the officers were really cool. And then after a few months there, I actually ended up, I say quote unquote, promoted, and I went into surveillance.
Oh,
I know. Surveillance was like my first big girl job, or like a very important job that I had to do, because, you know, you work for surveillance in a casino, so essentially what you did was you literally just watch everyone. You make sure no one's cheating. That's the biggest part of the job. I essentially got paid and trained to learn how to gamble and to count cards. And so when we would do audits on certain games, we just, if they won a big sum of money, we review everything and make sure that they actually won it without cheating. And then
that's really cool.
It was pretty cool. It was really cool. And so I did that for a little bit. It was probably one of the more interesting jobs I've ever had. But yeah, we're essentially there making sure that no one's trying to cheat the casino. But it was also kind of fucked up because I worked graveyard, and so I would see a lot of gang and drug activity, because the casino where it was located, it wasn't a great area either, so it attracted a lot of
nice.
That's nice. So it attracted a lot of like people that were already
hoodlums.
Yeah, a lot of people that weren't doing what they're supposed to, essentially. So there was a lot of car thefts, there was a lot of drug activity, there was a lot of fights, a lot of illegal weapons as well. So we had to work a lot with the county sheriffs, with the police department for our county, and so we would collaborate a lot with them too. But again, similar to you, working graveyard sucks. It sucks so much, and it sucks even more when they don't give you like a pay differential.
Yes.
We got the same, because I was making like $18. I got the same pay as someone who was coming in the morning. And it was such
BS.
bullshit. I'm just like,
Yep.
I'm coming in the middle of the night and you're only paying me 18. Like, it was bullshit.
In the middle of the night. Yeah, I know.
But that got,
They should definitely be paying extra. Like, they have to pay
Yeah.
extra if you're coming in the middle of the
Yeah.
night. That shit feels unnatural.
Yep. It is
Some of us
unnatural.
almost hit. Actually, some of us did hit a bus and fucked up our cars. You know,
Girl, that was just you, not me.
like, damn, Kels,
I
at
didn't-
least make up a
I
story
didn't-
about how you hit a car. How you had to crazy glue back your side of your mirror name.
I didn't crash into anyone. Until this day, I've never crashed into anyone, and I hope I never do.
Anyway,
But anyways, but yeah, I did that for.
I've had 3.
I did that. I did that job for a little bit. It was the being there overnight was getting to me. Seeing people. I think one night I saw someone, or like the coroners. What are they called? The people that like take dead bodies. I saw them come in once.
Yeah.
And to someone like
Body bag.
yeah, someone OD'd in one of the bathrooms, and I had to like
Yep.
watch the whole thing, and it was disturbing. It was awful.
And you had to pick up the body
Yeah.
and carry it.
But also it was also stressful too, because if you miss anything, you would get penalized for it too.
Yep. That sounds stressful.
Yeah. Again, the job was cool, but it's very stressful. It was very stressful. And then it didn't help that the girl that was training me sucked ass too. Like, she was so impatient. Like, I literally started the third day, she'd be like, "What do you mean you don't know what this is?" I'm like, "Girl, I just started."
You know what? If you're listening,
Fuck you, man.
fuck you.
Like, it sucked. And I think
Like, you've been doing that forever. Kels just came in. Fuck you.
Yeah, and she was, to be honest, she was the main reason why I like quit. Because I had to constantly work with her, and it was to the point where I was so stressed out, and I was doing, and I feel like I was doing a good job, but it wasn't good enough, and I'm just, you know what, I don't need this, so I left.
Did you leave a review?
A review?
Yeah,
No.
a review, but like of her.
Just her?
Should have put it. Yeah. Fuck her.
No.
Okay, bye.
Well, it's also like they like make you sign a bunch of like privacy stuff too. So you can't really like reveal who works for surveillance or what they do or anything like that.
Wait, they didn't do like an exit interview or anything?
No, I just quit. I didn't even put in my 2 weeks.
Okay.
I just quit.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Because I love the saying, "You should have noticed 2 weeks ago that I was gonna quit."
And like the notices are just a courtesy. You don't have to give it to them.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it was. Oh, I don't know. Working at a casino is the weirdest thing. I liked it, but also I didn't like it. But I'm also glad I'm not there anymore. So, it is what it is, I guess.
But if you had to go back, you wouldn't.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. If I did, I would go into a different department.
Got it.
Like HR or something, because it doesn't look like they do shit.
It never does.
Yeah. They're only there when like someone wants to sue or someone wants to file like some sort of harassment claim. That's when they're there. But HR, I don't see the point of HR.
Same.
Yeah. Anyways, my next job is my current job, and I work. My official title is a receptionist, and I like it. I'm very content with it. I like the pay.
Okay.
I like my coworkers. Well, the coworkers that are my age, not the college students.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them
Let's
too.
clarify.
I like them too, but sometimes they're a little
Immature?
overdramatic.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, I'm content with where I am. Again, it's not this job is not stressful at all. I don't, it's not that I say I don't do anything, but I get most of my job done within the first hour or two, and then I'm kind of just sitting there until someone calls or needs my help with anything. So I really like that. But sometimes it's like a double-edged sword, I guess. Where sometimes I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
love it because I get paid and I don't really do much. But then it's also like I feel like I waste so much of my time just sitting there. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I could be outside, I could be at the lake, I could be riding my bike, I could be doing something that I actually like. Um, but yeah, that's it. I don't have 20 other
That's
jobs.
it.
That's it.
Well, excuse me. I was just trying to get a better job. That's it.
No, I
Kept
get it.
moving up.
I get it. Job hopping is a thing, and
No,
I understand it 100%.
yeah, I couldn't. I'm telling you, I would cry sometimes in the morning when I'd have to get up and be like, "Oh my
Yeah, I
god."
would feel that same anxiety with the surveillance. I would sit in my
See?
car and I'd like tear up and be like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. I would never go back.
yeah.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
yeah, that's
And yeah, that's pretty much our job history. So if anyone wants to hire us, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
hire us. Yeah, we have a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
don't
good
know any.
experience.
Yeah, well,
Well,
yeah, one of us
do.
has like 30 jobs, but I'm kidding. No, I think we're good.
Yeah. Do you have
A lot of
anything else to
customer
add?
service. Uh
Do you have anything else to add?
huh. No, not really. Actually, yeah, I do. I have a confession to make.
Oh my god.
IT department. IT department. I think at some point in this recording, I think I accidentally pushed stop, and then it was playing back. And this is an April Fool's. It really happened. And then I started recording again, so I don't know what to say. Okay,
You
bye.
fucked up
No,
the
I'm kidding.
recording, girl. Girl. I'm done.
Anyway, I'm gonna get an earful.
Anyways,
And anything else to add?
no, I think that's it.
Okay, I'm getting fired.
Wait,
Okay,
hold on.
What?
Work is a scam. Whatever you're getting paid now, it should be doubled. Go on a strike. That's all I have to
Yeah.
say. For
And,
literally everyone that's listening, which is our 2 viewers.
Honestly, we should all be getting paid a lot more.
No. I was like debating if we should go into like the whole Americans are lazy. Like I kind of understand where it's coming from, but also I don't think it's true at all. I think Americans are in general very hardworking. It's just we don't get paid enough to do what we do, if that makes sense. Like in some states,
Yeah.
the minimum wage is still $7. It's still $7. Like how is
And you
that
want
legal?
people to work.
How is that legal?
And you complain about people not wanting to work for your shitty ass wage.
I know, and you're complaining that you're literally not offering. You're offering them minimum wage, which is barely anything. You're not offering them benefits. You're asking for like 30 years of skills for a 15, 14 hour job. Like what? That makes no sense. That's why it kills me when people say, oh, Americans are just lazy. They just want handouts. I'm just like, no, they want a good paying job and you're not offering that.
Yep.
And that's the reason why they go for like government, either subsidies or quote unquote handouts. I don't even see them as handouts because they paid for it through taxes. So it's technically their money. So why are you getting mad?
Yep.
Anyways.
I mean, there are those people that are lazy and will literally like take the handouts, and they're the ones that make us look bad.
Of course, don't get me wrong. It's not everybody. I'm not saying,
No.
I'm just saying in general. Most people want to work, and if they can, they will, but you just don't pay them well. And then with like everything, the price of literally everything is skyrocketing. Mortgages, rent, groceries, insurance. First of all, why do we have insurance? Anyways, that's another topic for a different day. Car payments,
write that down.
childcare, college if you're young enough. Like, it baffles me that that's still a talking point that people are lazy or Americans are lazy.
Yeah,
when I don't think that's true at all, and it's not true. You're just too cheap. Or you're very greedy. Anyways, we can talk about that later.
I agree with that. No, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, we can
Write this down.
write this down.
And
Yeah,
yeah, anything else to
go
add?
on strike if you can.
Yeah, honestly,
need-
we should all like
Yeah.
join forces and
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
we're stronger as a whole unit.
We're stronger together.
And
they need us more than we need them. So always remember that.
yes, they do. They really do.
Yeah. Anyways, I have nothing else to add.
I do. If y'all cheap ass employers are listening, fuck you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Woo! Bye.
They're cousins and their wives. Don't you know they're the cousin wives? With all our money and I need to. Who knows what the hell they're gonna do? Don't wanna listen, well it's true and bad. One of them laughs while the other gets mad. Check your man and check if it's butter. Cause this show ain't no like no other. It's cousin wives.